I'm just sitting here playing this Street Fighter 6 game. You see, you got my little grappling daisy. We've walked a long path for Capcom. We fans. I feel like addressing a few things. In particular, how new this is for them. It's a shame, really, because you can tell this may be something we only ever see in Street Fighter 6. It's a kind of a glimpse of it in the Alpha series. You can change the way you gain super meter, that sort of thing. And you could change the color palette of your character. That was as I remember. That was Alpha back in the day. And they had the sprites. Or pixel art. But yeah, it's going to be a shame because the guys who put in the heavy work for this programming and this world and everything, they're going to get sold out, priced out, and then they're going to leave this concept in the hands of interns that are far too willing to please master their unskilled, ambitious hands. Unless they're smart. Because I'd like to see them expand more on this sort of thing. Make this world able to be populated with other avatars. Why not? People you can invite. You can jump in on the fights with them against these characters. Sort of like you call in your master. That'd be cool. That's the sort of thing that they would bring to you if they kept the original programmers on this project and gave them incentive like they used to continue on making this game worthy of the franchise. But you know they're not going to do that. And it's almost a shame, really. They have something special here. Picking your moves, having a good rushdown character's stance and movement, like Kimberly, while having Zangief's grappling. My little grappling daisy, she can teleport to you and grab you.
Here I come.
And she just mauls you. It's just sorry, buddy. I was just doing it to prove a point. Or a promise. That's huge. Let alone the ability to like kind of customize them. I got her out to glow up. Grappling Daisy, she's ready. She's toned. She can press a. She looks like she can press a full-grown adult over her shoulders like nothing. She's lean. She's mean. Ain't much to grab onto. Everybody's got unlimited wrenches in this world. Unlimited wrenches and Molotov cocktails. Just Just infinite. What? What? Where are you looking? This dude's on crack right here. This little dude with the needle. Whoever programmed this bad guy does not like the players. And what's with the over dependence on knockdown and stunning? Knockdown, stunning. Sometimes they just do these combos on you and they just keep linking them and canceling them.
What do you want?
It could be a bias on my part. Not so good to where I can pull those off very reliably. I guess it's gonna take me a while before I can get that kind of skills coming out of this game. Wow. This thing get connected with something in the air. I'm so proud. That's not something that happens all the time. Excuse me? What are you grabbing at? See, that's another thing. It's just like these things are always in the perfect spot. Just spam it. May as well. Game does it. Shit. They're baiting. Ooh, poor Daisy. Poor Daisy. There we go.
What do you want? What the hell's your deal?
What's up? What's my problem? What's my problem? What's Johnny Depp doing out here? Why did you turn to him? Because he's the guy with the unlimited wrenches? I understand it. So they can throw wrenches at you directly, like a ninja star. So that's a small... Those are so hard to hit.
What do you want?
You know you're bad when they like... The drones are like, no! The hacker on the other side of their drone's like, display fear emoji. Physically display fear. Maybe it'll... But you know. Capcom's come a long way. Long way. But yet they're still doing the same... They're still doing the same, just... irritating things that fighting games have done. I think they may have been the ones that did it. You know, Fatal Fury, and they had that big old, like, directional button and press. They had, I remember S and K had the most complicated ones. Street Fighter had more, as far as those inputs went, special moves. They went from one hit, you trading one hit with each other, and you had a special move, and that was like knockdown. That was the specialness of it. And you know, there was no combos. And then people started realizing, you know, as the fighting games matured in the franchise, oh well, you know, combos are cool. There's that one the first time I realized that they could be a combo stuff. jump in, kick to sweep kind of thing going on. And you know how it came along. You were, especially if you were playing the games from back then until now, to comparative analysis. But there was, in Capcom in particular, it was more subtle. They tried to be more gaming, more sporting with the way their game exploited. Because honestly, they had a lot to work with what they were working with, the software and the hardware. You know, they could be forgiven for having something that can read button inputs, and you know, you could understand them putting the boss characters to do so much damage and you doing half damage. You know, and taking way more damage and that kind of stuff. You could be, due to the limitations of the software and technology at the time, you could just be like, I can't be too mad. They made a game, something I'm enjoying. But for it to happen at this point in the game, in particular, I'm talking about. Oops, sorry, buddy. I'll try to make it quick. Yeah, that's. What they do, and in particular, it irks me, is the reading of the button inputs. So, in particular, like as an example, Jerry. I got her mastered to 20. And at a certain point, all the interactions, you get a little red tick mark next to her, sort of like this customize icon. Little light bulb in the red little mark. And she gives you a couple interactions, teaches you a few moves. But I think you have to beat her for, I'm not sure entirely. But she goes from level 40 to a level 60 jump. 63, I think it's 63 for her. It's different for other ones, other masters. But in that span, she becomes precog. She can read your button inputs. She's canceling to get the cheap shots. Sometimes she gets you trapped in a corner and just strings so many hits on you that it's pointless to have a controller in your hands at that point. You can't do anything. You're just sitting there getting hit. She'll string together like about 6 to 7, sometimes 10 of those things, canceling into her super art and everything like that. And, what you have to do is be cheesy. You have to exploit the game design to beat her. For me, that's not fun. I want to play the game to beat her. I don't want to exploit the game to beat her. I want a challenge. I don't want Yuri to be put to a power level to where she can just spam her supers with no cost, no cooldown, no pause. While my little Daisy here, it's like I'm fighting somebody all concussed. She's moving around, she's freaking skipping about, she's spamming her supers, no cooldown, dodging everything, reversing everything. I have a button input I gotta do. I gotta directionals I gotta throw in there. Compared to the input that the computer has to do, and reading my inputs at the same time, that and just making her do way more damage and take far less damage. That's, at this point, it seems like, you know, Capcom should be kind of past needing that kind of handicap to offer challenge. It just seems like something that our hardware could be better than. Like, they've been in the game too long to be doing those kind of things. Our hardware, the software, the expertise, all of that stuff. Like, I get that there's competitive, sweaty people online who essentially, you know, they have, over the time, gathered the data on them because they're the most prolific and they get the most airtime because they're the biggest, you know, trash talking, uber exploit gaming. I have these invincibility frames in this move. I'm gonna cancel in, cancel out. I'm gonna make it to where you can't even move. Blah blah blah. Whatever. You could tell that they essentially data gathered and put that in the algorithm. That's the challenge that this game gives you. That's cheating. It's not playing the game. That's exploiting the game. At that point, the game's not fun for me. And they could just, you know, this guy has super armor. You know, I mean, it's good for grappling and stuff like that. You walk into a punch to get a grab. It's uber Zangief territory right there. But you know, it's get out my face.
What do you want? You're done.
Fuckers in their wrenches.
Here I come.
Oh. Face! That's just it, you know, Capcom has that Disney effect. I've heard a lot of people online kind of report on. They're not gonna, if they don't innovate, they're gonna be looked down on, but if they innovate, then they're looked down on. It's like my bands can't stay together for long. The moment they don't sound like what they started as, everybody has a problem. The moment they sound like what they started as, oh, they haven't improved. You really can't win. I'd like to see them suspend the game's elements above that kind of nonsense. And that's like this little world tour mode, that's kind of what they're trying to do. I would definitely suggest Street Fighter 6. But just know, you're walking into a Capcom game. If you really want to uncover the biggest, funnest secrets, you're just gonna have to accept. You're just gonna have to accept a little bit of an unfair beating scenario. You're gonna have to learn to exploit things. You're gonna have to learn that it's just like the game's just gonna be cheap. Oh, especially when it's a Blanca character. Like, Blanca characters have to be the most aggravating to fight. All they do is just jump into you and do their dumb little electro attack. Like, has priority over all things. Time, space, the laws of physics, nothing compares to the priority that a hop into your general area and electric attack has in this world. Like, Blanca could stop someone going Saiyan, Super Saiyan, by jumping in and doing Shaco attack. You know, the funny thing about it is, when I have that ability and use that fighting style, you'd swear that both the fighting style and the ability were a liability. Just even daring just spamming that, like, everyone had an answer. Everyone had an answer. You don't have an answer for it. It has no cooldown when the game has it. I've never been able to utilize it like the game has. So, you know, the duality of it all. Definitely by the game. Gives you some story on the characters, even though it's kind of hard to follow. It's always been that way with Street Fighter. It's like the story guys in this particular franchise of just like ADHD. And I do too, so maybe that's why it always was a preferred like taste that I needed specifically. I would definitely recommend it. You can definitely tune your little avatar up, and it is gratifying.